Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Sarah, and today I'm going to do my Q&A. So I'm doing this in celebration of reaching 3,000 subscribers. So thank you everyone who is subscribed to my channel. I am very grateful as I have a mission. I want this channel to grow and create a community of people who want to basically be inspired to do what they want with their lives, to live their dream. Thank you everyone who's put a question in down here. And when you get the downstairs area renovated, will you be accepting paid guests? I don't know. To be honest, my plan is to build, there's like a flat spot down the bottom of the property where my plan is to build an area there that I can rent out instead of down in the basement area, because I think it would be a nicer area to rent out. But my more immediate future will be have it to host volunteers, because I want people to come here and help. So if I could have volunteers come, I would probably do it more for that before I would do it for paid guests. So yeah, so I have someone living there right now, so I'm not sure if it will ever be for rent, but definitely another area in a different part of the farm will be. And if you're wondering, if you're thinking, but it's really steep, how am I going to get down there? We're actually putting in stairs, so it's much easier for people to go down and up. But like I said, I don't know. That's possibly. That's going to be a maybe. Second question, will you be a long-time resident of Colombia? I have a long-term visa, so yes. Have you let your nursing license lapse? No, I am still currently a registered nurse in the state of California, and every 2 years I do my CEUs, and my license is currently active. With that said, I have not worked as a nurse for 4 years. So it is active, but I have not worked as a nurse for 4 years. Next question, does Jerico have a school system? Yes, not a university, but a high school, elementary school. Yes, they do have one. It is just like any small town, basically. Almost every small town here has a school system, and typically is how it works is the rural areas have a small area where they have like elementary schools, and then once they're done with their elementary school, they go into the bigger school in the pueblo. It's not, so the rural areas like where I'm at will have a small school for the local kids, and then when they're ready to move on to high school, or I don't know what they call it here, but they will go into town where there's the school for everybody. But interesting, we have a seminary here because it's a very religious town, so there is a seminary here. But, so yes, there is a school system. Are you going to offer any tours? I'm assuming you mean about my coffee farm. Maybe. Let me get my coffee system set up, because right now it is I need to fix the trees. I need to get rid of some trees. I need to cut some trees so they can regrow healthy. So the trees need a lot of work, and my plan for the coffee, actually there's another question, so I'll cover that sooner. But if you want to come to see my farm, just message me and you can come see my farm. Not saying you're gonna get like a tour like of making coffee, but I can show you the process and I can show you my farm. I actually had a subscriber come to see my farm. So if you're asking about tours, like me giving you a tour of the area, I don't really do that. But like I said, if you are here and you want that, you can just reach out to me. I don't have anything like set up in stone, but if you would like that, like for example, I've actually met four people who watch my channel or read my writing, and I have met them in town, and yeah, so it's not a tour, but just like a meet up coffee. But if you want a tour, I can tell you what to do here as well. What are the ways you make money? So I make money by creating content on YouTube. Not a lot, because I just got monetized like 6 months ago, so it's very slow. I don't make that much money. The other ways I make money, I write on Medium and I write on Substack. So I make money by writing and creating videos. How long is a walk into Jericho? It is 2.2 miles, mostly uphill, so it takes about an hour to walk. I have not walked it yet, but that's what the locals tell me. It's an hour walk. So, an hour. Or tuk-tuk or motorcycle, 10 minutes. The next one, complimenting me. You look really good for your age. Thank you. Some days I don't feel that I do, but thank you. What do you do to stay so youthful and beautiful? Well, thank you. To stay youthful, I mean, I think it's genetics, because my family, we all look young. My grandparents looked young when they were older. They always look 20 years younger, so I think good genetics. I use a hat. I always use a hat, sun cream, and I'm obsessed with castor oil and jojoba oil. I don't know. And I eat relatively healthy and stay active. So I think those help, and I don't have kids, so I don't have that stress. I don't know if that, I don't know, I think it's just genetics and less stress in my life, to be honest. Next question. How many acres do I have? 1.58. Are your friends down there all Colombians? Actually, my main friend is German. She's currently in Germany, but she lives in Medellin. And recently I have met other people who live in Medellin also. And one is from the US and the other is from Venezuela. Hi, if you're watching. New friends. And I'm in the process of making friends. I'm not really good at making friends. But yeah, so I have, and then there's another couple in town. One is a Colombian German couple, the guy I bought my house from actually. And so we will hopefully be friends. But I don't know, I'm a bit shy, so I don't really have that many friends. I just have a couple. And yes, they all speak English. Do you have an American bank account and do you pay American taxes? Yes, I have. All my bank accounts are from the US. And yes, I pay taxes in the US. But this will be my first full year here in Colombia, so I will have to see how the taxes work in February, so I'm not sure. I will still definitely have to pay taxes in the US, yes. But I'm not sure how it's going to work, depending on, yeah, so I'm not sure exactly, because I have to file here, I believe, as well, because of my new status with my visa. Do you miss life in America? No. Do you miss traveling? Not really, because I traveled for 6 years full-time, so I do not really miss traveling. Plus, I spent a lot of time traveling around Colombia, and now I can travel around here anytime I want. But I really am enjoying living here and staying on my farm and doing work here. So, do you plan on selling the coffee beans and bananas locally? I plan on selling my coffee, yes, because there's somewhere in town that I can just drop it off and they buy it. Bananas, plantains, probably not, because I don't really have enough. If I start getting more, I will have to find someone to buy it, because the problem here is everyone else sells it. Everyone's selling it. And I will sell like the extra coffee. I do plan on keeping most of the coffee for me and like my friends and family. But if I can sell like the stuff sell some of it, great. And have a little bit of income that way, I will do it. But I haven't got that far yet, because I have to collect it and then it has to dry, and it takes a long time to dry. So if I can, I do plan on selling it, yes. How do you plan on making money? I can answer that in the last question. I write and I create content. I do not make a lot of money. I do not actually need a lot. When I was working full-time, I saved and I invested, so yeah. And plus, when my writing was doing really well for 2 years, I saved a lot of that also. So basically, I saved a lot, and that is why I can live off very little right now, because I offset my cost of living by squirreling away what I made while being a nurse. And I have been working since I left the US in 2018. I have been working nonstop. This is probably the worst year I have had with money. And since I have gone solely just doing content creation for 3 years, this is the worst year so far. But hopefully it picks back up and I don't have to worry about it. So, hence, I make videos and I write a lot. And the person who left us these questions was a nurse, so I think you should definitely take a sabbatical. Yes. You probably will not want to go back. Completely agree. Work and save, 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 save. That is what I did. Do I miss my nursing life at all? No. The other night I had a nightmare about it actually, and I woke up like in a cold sweat. So no, I do not miss it at all. Thank you. I'm glad you like my new place. If you come here, you can come see it. How did you find it? Word of mouth. I did a whole video on that, but friend of a friend. Do you have a partner or a Colombian who warms you? Yes, I have a Colombian partner. Why did you become a coffee farmer in Colombia? I wouldn't say that I'm a coffee farmer. I bought a coffee farm. I know nothing about coffee right now. All I know is that the trees some of them are sick. I need to cut them, I need to cure them, and I need to learn how to take care of them. So, but like I said, I actually bought this farm to be a homesteader, not a coffee farmer. My goal is to raise all of my own food and produce all of my own food for, yeah, that's my goal. Not to be a coffee farmer. It's just a bonus that I have coffee trees and I have the entire process where I can process it myself and sell it and to have it to drink. I have been currently, let me show you. Okay, let me show you what I've been doing. So the coffee that I had here already was dried, so is what I'm doing. I know you don't have to do this by hand. I'm just doing it because I do it while I watch TV. You just pull this off. And then this little green coffee bean is the one you roast. So I have this much. And I will be roasting them when this is full. I'm going to roast them and drink it. So I will have direct from farm to table coffee. And I did this before already and it was really good. So this is like my coffee farming extent. I know nothing about it. So the story behind it. The story was I first came to Colombia in 2018. I loved it here, but I was traveling. Never thought I was going to settle down. Then I stayed here for a year to learn Spanish after the pandemic and realized that I loved it here and I wanted to stay. Anyways, things happened. I had to leave the country. I didn't have a long-term visa and I had just broken up with my boyfriend. And then I realized I traveled to other countries. Realized that I did want to stay here. I did want to buy here. And so I decided to find a place, get a long-term visa, and yeah, that's how it worked. So, but yeah, I definitely bought it as to be a farmer, homesteader, raising chickens, goats, and growing my own food because that is my ultimate goal. Next question. What variables went into you deciding to live in Colombia specifically? I was familiar with the country, the culture, because I had lived here for a year prior. I did know friends. The one friend I mentioned earlier, the German girl in Medellin, I have known her since 2018 when I first came here, so I had connections. I also knew my Colombian family, so I had friends here already. And I love the weather. The Spanish is easy to understand because Colombia has the dialect of Spanish is much easier to understand than other countries. I love the climate, the mountains, and you can grow anything. The food is good. The food is fresh, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, and I love the tropical climate. What led you to deciding to become an expat? I never wanted to become an expat. I decided after 6 years of traveling, and I wanted to realize that I wanted to settle down, and I was sick of traveling, and the only country that I kept thinking about that I wanted to live in was this one, was Colombia. So that led me to buying a house and settling down. Basically, it was the first country in 2018 that I came to, and it was the one country that I kept coming back to. I mean, even after I left here in 2018, I came back, and then I traveled, and then I came back, and then I traveled, and I just kept coming back because there's so much to see and do here. You're never bored. I mean, if I want to go to the coast, I can go to the coast. If I want to go to see a volcano, I can go to a volcano. If I want to go do something historical or adventurous, this country has everything that you need. Plus, the people are really friendly. Everyone's really nice. It's just like, I don't know, for me, it has every single thing that I would ever want in a country. So I guess the fact that I became an expat by default because I just wanted to live here, that was the main reason. I didn't have like a plan. I didn't have like this grand like this like plan to never go back to the US. I had a plan of traveling forever, but I think living abroad is pretty close to meeting all my goals because I don't want to live where I grew up. I lived there almost all my whole life, so I think having a new adventure in another country is something that, I don't know, really appeals to me. And having a home here, if I want to go travel, I have a home base, and I have a long-term visa, so yeah. I could probably do an entire video on this because now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, there's like a lot of factors, but not really. I just felt when I came here, I just felt comfortable and I felt at home. When I'm here, I just feel at home. And I think my instinct said, yeah, this is where you need to settle. And that was really it. It wasn't any grandiose plan. It wasn't like I didn't speak any Spanish before. I still work on my Spanish. I mean, it's really hard. I hate studying, but it's, you know, a work in progress. Where can we find more of what you do outside of this channel? I write on Substack, my name, just my name, same as this channel. And I think, yeah. You know what? So this is from one of my Odyssey viewers, so I didn't realize my last name's not on my channel. Everything linked below. I will link my Substack newsletter below. That's where I write. Medium, I also write on Medium, but I'm more active on Substack now. I also have Facebook and Instagram, but I don't use them. I post occasionally, but it's not a lot. I prefer Substack, and it's like a platform. It's a newsletter platform. It also has like, you know, contact. You can contact me there and everything. So all that will be linked in the description. Someone also made a comment about taxis here, asking if I was taking a taxi into town from here. So we have motor taxis and we have tuk-tuks or motocarros, and we don't use apps here. So because it's such a small town, we just call them and they're really affordable. From here to town, it would cost 7,000 pesos, which is like $1.75 maybe. So we don't have apps like in the cities here. So yeah, we take just normal motor taxis, or we walk, or we take the motorcycle. I took a bike into town that day because my guy was not home and I didn't have a way into town and I wanted to go shopping. That is why. But normally we drive. Someone asked me about price of products here in Colombia. I will do a whole video on comparing prices from this small town, because in Medellin or in bigger cities, the prices are different. And here it is a lot more affordable to live, but I will like buy things and show you how much things cost. It is easier than for me just to tell you, because off the top of my head I don't know, to be honest. But like, for example, let me see if I can even think of something. No, I can't think of anything. But I will do a whole video on that so you can see the price comparison. We do have a little bit of inflation. Things have gotten a little bit more expensive here, but not like in the US. Will you be getting married? Well, I have a marriage visa, if that answers your question, which is why I have a long-term visa, because a marriage visa breaks down into a long-term visa. So thank you so much for all your questions. If I have any more questions before I post this video, I will include them as well. So thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for being curious about my life. I hope I answered all your questions. And if I did not answer your question, most likely I have written about it, because I have written a lot about all of these things. So if you want a specific post, I will send you my post. It's free. My newsletter is 100% free. I'm not trying to send you into a news funnel, don't worry. And if you want me to talk more about a certain subject, I can like take these and make each one of these questions into a video. Oh, you know what? Someone asked me about prices. Pricing here in Colombia, I will do an entire video on cost of living, because that's an entire video in itself. But cost of living significantly less than in the US. Obviously, you probably knew that already, even with inflation. So yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.